Hello, welcome to the Retro Review. For this week, it's going to be WrestleMania 5. I, of course, Patrick Young. This gentleman to my right is my co-host, Joe Venuta.
WrestleMania 5 took place on April 2nd, 1989, from the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Attendance 18,946. Commentators Jesse Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon. I don't know why I pointed at me, but alright.
I'm Gorilla, he's...
No, that would be me. Because of Bobby Heenan. Yeah, so. It's back to the same arenas last year for an even longer show. Yes, after the marathon, that was WrestleMania 4, which I believe we did do in the archives. So.
Yes.
Or you at least did.
Yeah.
This show's
Someone
actually...
did it.
This show's actually a bit longer, despite there being no tournament. The main event scene is really just a sequel to last year's match, though, so the same setting makes sense. So let's get to it. WWF Women's Champion Rock and Robin, half-sister Jake Roberts, sings right here beautiful, does a decent job. Jesse, of course, is impressed and doesn't bring up Donald Trump in the front row again this year, which she was all night. King Haku versus Hercules. This is as high as Haku ever got on his own, as he used to see a race as the King due to hard races injuries. This isn't for the crown though. When Hercules is down on face, Bobby Heenan had tried to sell him into DiBiase, who referred to Hercules as a slave. This didn't sit well, and Hercules claimed that he was his own man, and power blue trunks, by the way, is Hercules. Haku jumps hand from behind Star, but Hercules comes back by throwing Haku in the air and just let him crash on that. Heenan's device won't do Haku much good, Hercules drops on elbows, but stops to walk around. A second Heenan distraction works a bit better now, and Haku gets some cheap shots to take over. Back there, we hit a bear hug on Hercules to fill in some time, but he breaks free and gets two off a crossbody. Some clothesline setup, something from the top, but Haku gets up a good-looking super kick to knock Hercules slowly back up, and Hercules grabs a belly-to-belly suplex, but rolls his shoulder up to pin Haku at 6:53.
Not a terrible match like I was expecting, especially from Hercules. However, I think it's just a very, very odd choice for the opener of this card.
Yeah, not the worst match here, but like Pat said, it was a strange choice for opener. I mean, did they really think it made sense to push Hercules to something special? At the time, they were actually pushing him as a third Mega Power, which meant the guy that would take a fall in a 6-man. But it was really just a name only. This was a pretty pedestrian power match, but that super kick to stop Hercules was a nice touch. Haku always had a good super kick, and it was cool to see him use it, even enough a match like this.
I gave it a D.
D+. The ladies' Pretty Boy tag team called the Rockers refer to themselves tag team specialists and say they're ready for the Twin Towers, who are Hakeem, formerly known as the One-Man Gang, and now Dason African, along with the 6'6", 380-pound Big Boss. Rockers versus Twin Towers. By the way, the Rockers are hungover beyond belief here.
Yeah.
That's a true story. So they're great on the mat.
Yeah, Shawn said he got into a fight with his ex-wife his wife at the time, which became his ex-wife. And him and Marty pretty much went out drinking, and to sober up, he had tons of coffee and like energy bars and shit.
So for this match, as good as it was, considering that, that's why I added that there.
Yeah.
So Bullseye goes after Maury Janae, partner of Shawn Michaels, in case you don't know the Rockers. And gets decked by Shawn from behind. Shawn punches Hakeem to get the big man's attention before doing the same thing to the Bullseye. The Rockers started on Hakeem's arm, but he first bar into the beer hug from Bullseye and adds a sand splash to crush Janae between the two of them. More splashes connect, and the Towers manager Slick says they need a black referee. Why he wants this isn't clear, but he was shouting it pretty loudly. Martin finally avoids a charge to send the Towers together, and Shawn gets attacked to double team Hakeem. They whip him across the ring over and over before a double shoulder gets two. It finally gets down to 1-1. Hakeem just ends Shawn with one of the hardest clotheslines I've ever seen. And Jesse says a great line saying, I think he irritated Hakeem. Bullshit misses his top of splash though, and the Rockers double drop kick Hakeem to the floor. They mostly miss stereo missile drop kicks to Bullshit, and everything breaks down with Bullshit catching and diving Shawn and the spin powerbomb. That also landed isn't enough though, so it's Air Africa running splash from Hakeem for the pin at 8:05.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good match. They very much worked the big guy, little guy gimmick pretty well here. This probably would have been my choice for the opener. Either this one or Perfect and Blazer.
Yeah.
Had to happen later. But still, very fun, high energy match, and the big guys get the dominant looking win.
Yeah, this was fun for how well the Rockers popped for the monsters here. That clothesline and power on the Shawn were particularly awesome, as Shawn looked dead off of both wounds. The Twin Towers had just come off a feud with Hogan and Savage, but for some reason it never led to the tag team titles or even a serious shot at
I gave it a C+.
C+. DiBiase loves getting to be around rich people in NXT, even if he's wrestling commoner like Bruce Beefcake. Ted DiBiase and Bruce Beefcake, DiBiase's $1 million title. He couldn't win the WWF World title, so he made his own. Isn't on the line because Bruce hasn't earned a shot. Ted shakes hands with Trump before coming in, and Donald seems intrigued by the belt. Bruce has his awesome theme music now, and it makes his entrance a lot better. Virgil stays in the ring for the first minute or so of the match while DiBiase tells Trash to Beefcake. Bruce gets tired waiting and backdrops DiBiase out to the floor, followed by some slams and clothesline putting him right back to the floor. This really has been a good return to WrestleMania for DiBiase. He's already going from the main event to the third match on the card, and now he's going to be up. Back in an even more right-hand stagger Ted until Virgil trips Bruce to give the boss an opening. A mill rip elbow drop is 2 for DiBiase, and a suplex sets up the $1 million dream. Bruce grabs the ropes and makes his comeback, sending Tish face first into the buckle 10 straight times. DiBiase finally knocks Bruce to the floor where Virgil gets a few shots. Ted follows, and they brawl to a double count out at 9:57.
I guess this was just fine. It really wasn't all that impressionable to me. That and just having a double count out on a Mania, just yeah, that's a awesome idea.
Well, that happened. There wasn't much of a story in this one, and they just moved to each other for about 10 minutes. It's strange as these two will work well together, with Bruce's great charisma and being able to power through comeback. Bruce was never great, but the fans loved him, and he was adequate enough to work a passable and fun match. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case here, but at least they tried.
D+.
D+. Post-match, Bruce cleans house with the Hedge Clippers to claim moral victory. As usual, Jesse's on point by calling that assault with a deadly weapon. Earlier today, the Bushwhackers were at the annual WrestleMania brunch and ate a lot. This isn't particularly funny, so I don't know why. Finalist Rizzo versus the Bushwhackers. The Rizzos are now matched with Jimmy Hart and All-American Boys from Memphis. Bush trips on his way to the ring. To be fair, the aisle has steps. So. And Jesse accuses Gorilla of being drunk in the casino the other night. The Bushwhackers steal Jimmy's jacket, but the Rizzos save it from being destroyed, so they were good for something. Jimmy gets inside to collect his jacket and gets crushed between the brothers, send right back to the floor. Luke and Raymond officially get going as Gorilla questions the Rizzos being Americans just because they moved here. And Jesse says, so as far as you're concerned, tear down the Statue of Liberty. That escalated quite quickly. The brothers did a double team to take over as Bush is being forced out of the ring. And we get to the bizarre part. Yes, the bizarre part of a Bushwhacker match. Raymond lifts Luke up for a slam and Luke intentionally rubs Raymond's crotch. His hand moves up and down multiple times, and that's all it could have been. I guess it was a rib, but it's quite the jarring visual.
Yeah.
Jacques puts on an abdominal stretch, and Raymond flips in over the top for a super kick to Luke's ribs. They stop the pose down, now Luke to crawl over tie Bush, set up the Baron Ram. Bush holds Luke's head and drives him into the ribs. And a double stomach breaker, pin Raymond at 5:09.
I got what they were trying to go for in a comedy match. It honestly just felt flat. The match was fairly boring.
This is a comedy match. Mine's most of the comedy. The Bushwhackers are a definition of a common team for kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. These teams feud for the better part of ever, and it was the same result almost every time. You could have cut this out and no one will miss a thing. Well, Raymond might miss a thing without that visual.
Yeah.
But I don't want to think about that anymore.
F.
D-.
Because Luke got that D?
Yes. The Bushwhackers like interview with Sean Mooney on their way up the aisle, and Mooney says, words cannot describe what it's like to be lifted by a Bushwhacker. Alright. Mr. Perfect versus Blue Blazer. This is the debut of Perfect's trademark singlet. Perfect trips on the same set that got Bush. Blazer is a little hard and a mask, meaning this has potential to be really good. Filling out process to start with Perfect, take him into the corner, slap him right in the mask. Blazer will have done that and drop kicks Perfect over the top, with Perfect doing his awesome bumping to get outside. A baseball slide, nowhere near common yet. Staggers Perfect even more, and there's a second drop kick to put him down again. Blazer's top rope splash his knees, and Perfect finally gets a breather. By the way, these are quite high spots for 1989.
Yeah.
A reverse chin lock doesn't get perfect anywhere, and Blazer gets two of a belly to belly. Blazer's crucifix gets very close to, but Perfect just blasts him in the face with a forearm, and the Perfect place ends Blazer at 5:51 and keeps Perfect's record spotless.
This one wasn't a long one, but they did a hell of a lot at the time. What they did was fantastic. Perfect looked pretty good getting the win, and Blazer got in some minutes on WrestleMania. So
yeah, good match here, but they could have done something really special more time and more main event style. Blazer was an excellent high flyer, especially for the time, and Perfect was already looking like a polished veteran. It's not great, but it was a fun match while it lasted.
I gave it a B-.
C+. Jesse's presented to the crowd for the third year in a row. For some reason, Gorilla surprised and says he was set up for this one. Yesterday, Mr. Fuji ran a 5K in a tuxedo and a snappy bowler hat, while barely breaking a sweat. This is to prove that he's ready for the handicap match with the tag team titles at WrestleMania, as they try to make this mean something. Run DMC performs WrestleMania rap. I guess Glasslight was busy this year. Yeah. We recap Demolition versus the Powers of Pain, Warlord and Barbarian. We'll start back at the Star Series. Mr. Fuji turned on Demolition to join the Powers of Pain, leading to a title match at the main event. Fuji threw Salt and Axis for DQ, which somehow resulted in the Powers of Pain getting a rematch here, and a 3-on-2 handicap match where Fuji can help his team win the titles. And Demolition is ready to beat up Fuji to Stooge. Tag team titles Demolition versus Powers of Pain, Mr. Fuji. Demolition's defending, but Fuji isn't the worst addition to the challengers. It's not that well known, but he's spent more days as a member of the World Tag Team Champions than anyone in the company history. At over 2.5 years holding half the titles.
Wow.
Mr. Fuji. He's 53 here, and was a champion as recently as 1982. So it's not like he hasn't been out there in like 20 years. Fuji throws his soul and bails before we're going to go. Warlord and Axe get things going with Axe taking over and quickly handing it over to Smash for an early neck crank. Gorilla calls the challengers on Mongrel team. Demolition is a pair of brawlers, but the Power Pains are mongrels. That's quite the stretch, Gorilla. Barbarian comes in but gets elbow in the face 3 times in a row for his efforts. His old Demolition start until Barbarian chops Smash down the mat and pre-reverse sight. Warlord comes in and is immediately double clothesline by Axe makes the mistake of going to Fuji to change control for the first time. Fuji comes in for a chop and a full headbutt, which looked a little bit low. Slow stomp ensues, which would have expected guys like this. Fuji actually goes on top and misses, I'm not sure if it was a leg drop or an elbow, and Smash comes in to clean house for some pulls. Everything breaks down. Fuji throws Salt in Warlord's eyes by mistake. Sell the Demolition Decapitator, backbreaker, middle rope elbow combination to pin Fuji and retain the titles at 8:55.
This one was a fairly below average tag team match. But it did have a WrestleMania payoff, so you can look at that on the bright side.
It was a border match, but it was 2 teams who wrestle the same style, which almost never works. Fuji being there was a nice way to keep the Powers of Pain from getting pinned, probably to allow for house show rematches. Still, though, nothing to see here, and the fans have made no secret about the fact. And they're just sitting around waiting for Hogan versus Savage at this point.
I gave it a C-.
D. Tony Schiavone, he had pot coffee for the company in the late 80s, early 90s. Is thrown out of Savage's locker room as the champ shouts that he's ready for Hogan. Dino Bravo versus my boy Ronnie Garvin.
F. I'm sorry. I'll give the match a chance.
Garvin is a brawler who didn't do much in the company. Before the match, we had to pull us for a return Jimmy Stuckey. And I saw it took the match, but he's back after nearly 4 years away. Totally pointless cameo that makes you think it wasn't meant to air here. Bravo attacks from behind and forms Garvin in the back as Gorilla and Jesse argue over how strong Bravo really is. A kick to the chest gets 2 for Dino, and even Jesse rips on Bravo for freaking out to get the pin. Garvin suddenly starts to come out with a bunch of right hands. That was his finisher back in the NWA. And a sleeper, but Bravo is right in the corner. A sunset flip gets 2 for Ronnie, but he walks into the side suplex for the pin at 3:55.
Thank God they kept this one short.
This will be a lame match of superstars that makes WrestleMania. Like I said, so much of this card feels like they're trying to fill in time.
Yeah.
And this really should be happening on the big show here. This season coming Cove, saved about 6 minutes and did something else.
Yeah.
F. Garner beats Frenchie Martin up because he just started losing. Brainbusters versus Strikeforce. The Brainbusters, who Gorilla refers to as two really tough dudes, are Lauren Anderson and Tully Blanchard, with Heating in their corner. Strikeforce has been inactive for a long time due to Martel being injured, but being begged to reform the team. Blanchard starts with Martel and Orange cheating just a few seconds in with a knee to the back. Ever breaks down and Snyder drop kicks put the Busters to the floor. Back then, Martel takes Anderson to power the team to the mat and tests strength. Blanchard fights up, but Tio gets in blind tag to put Tully in Fear 4. Martel puts Anderson in one as well, but the thrust of disqualification breaks them up. Strikeforce tries an elbow blind tag by Santana's flying form, hits Martel by mistake. Knock him out to the floor. The Busters take over him to distract Santana, but he gets two of them over Chris body. Arn puts him back down the knee in the corner as Martel is still shaking by the forearm. Tio slams Arn off the top. That might have been a made tribute to Flair. And goes for a tag, but Martel drops to the floor and walks out. So Tio's alone against the Brainbusters, and this doesn't go well. The yet to be named Spinebuster plants Tio, who is still looking over in an empty corner, and Spike Pie Driver puts Tio out of his misery at 9:13.
I thought it was good tag team action, but the main reason why it was put on here was to split up Strikeforce.
Fun match here, which was more of a way to sell the Martel versus Santana's feud, which went on for well over a year or four. It's a simple story and a great way for Martel like a jerk, which made for a solid heel turn. The Brainbusters were going to become a much bigger deal and will finally end Demolition's title reign by the end of the summer. C+. Martel says he's tired of carrying Santana, who has always been holding him back. Gene was livid, by the way, over Martel's actions. Like, more livid than he is on a day-to-day basis at this time.
More livid than he was at Sherry when she couldn't get a hold of herself.
Yeah, I know. It's time for Ride Piper. Big return with a live Piper's Pit. Think gives Piper a big introduction, but we get Brother Love, a heel character who parodied TV evangelists of the 80s, if you don't know Bruce Pusher by now.
Yes.
In a kilt instead. Love says his guest is Brother Ronnie, and we did an outstanding Piper impression, by the way. As Love plays both hosts and guests, this doesn't last long, so Love brings out the real guests. Loudmouth talk show host Morton Downey Jr., who was a forerunner to Jerry Springer, and Chain Smoked. And
no relation to Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
Like we previously thought.
Right. He chain smoked. Cigarettes, by the way. Which Gorilla called the weed. After a few insults from Downey, here's the real Piper wake the fans up. Piper starts asking Love questions but won't let him answer because he didn't want to know that Bailey. He makes fun of Love's red face when Love stands up to him. Love says, "You can't scare me," and Piper says, "Why?" Guess what happens. Piper brings up all the gifts that DiBiase's given Love and thinks Love is wearing a fake Rolex. Downey throws cigarettes at Piper as Riot asks if Love is any part Scottish. If he is, there shouldn't be anything under that dress. They argue over who's wearing a dress and who's wearing a kilt, with Piper threatening to bite Love's face off if Love touches Piper's kilt. Piper rips Love's kilt off to reveal right underwear and Love beals. So it's just Piper versus Downey now. Morton starts blowing smoke in Piper's face, which Piper doesn't approve of. Piper asks why Morton Downey Jr.'s father is named Morton Downey. So Morton implies he slept with Piper's mother. Apparently Morton used to have a bunch of warts on his face, but he gave him to a homeless warthog. And then Piper said, "I didn't know your girlfriend was homeless." Downey does his zipping catchphrase, they just keep going. Fans shouts, "This is stupid." Downey thinks Piper is a transvestite and blows even more smoke. He says it's healthy and that Piper could live as long as Downey could. Side note, Downey will actually eventually die of lung cancer. Piper asks for a cigarette of his own, but instead sprays Downey with a fire extinguisher. This ran nearly 16 minutes. Here we go. Or longer than any WrestleMania match to date.
Wow. I actually didn't know that. I didn't catch on to that one.
Now, how you feel about the segment?
It's terrible.
It's also aged horribly, as Downey's show would be canceled at the end of that summer. Preview Hulk Hogan's cult classic movie, No Holds Barred.
The match. The movie.
Donald Trump thinks this has been a great event for the Trump organization, and that the casinos have been doing very well. Sean Mooney, by the way, sounded incredibly nervous here.
Well, a man's about to meet a president.
Duh. Jesse's livid, not Donald Trump, that Hogan is invading Hollywood. He's so mad that he looks at the wrong camera when he starts ranting about how scared Hogan is of Savage. Hogan can drive Jesse's limo in Hollywood, and Jesse storms off, only to return about 10 seconds later. More intermission, that's not clear. Long recap of the Bag of Powers, 4 minutes split to go to the main event. Like I said, Hogan was taking a bit too much of the spotlight, including getting the win Survivor Series. Andrew Savage did most of the work. It was probably too much for Savage, and he snapped his up. The Bag of Powers exploded. Hogan can't believe we're here just after a year after it all started. He should be able to see coming, though, as Savage just wasn't ready to handle the pressure. Savage made Hogan believe that he believed in Hogan's commandments. Train, say your prayer. Why did I put commandments? Commandments. I meant commandments. Because Hogan demands you to do them. Train, say your prayer, and eat your vitamins, not your villains. That's cannibalism.
Don't eat Marty Squirrel.
Right, that he was in Hogan's corner. That line right there sums up why Savage is pretty justified. Why should a WWF World Champion be in Hogan's corner? Have to follow Hogan's rules. As I said for WrestleMania 3, Hogan only has himself to blame for so many of his problems. Hogan isn't done yet, as he told about Trump sending in a team of scientists to check the arena's foundation because the people in the building might be swallowed by the earth.
Man, Trump, your building sucks.
What is up with Hogan worrying about the world fall apart while he's in Trump Plaza? Last year he was drowned the Hulkamaniacs, and then this year...
Yeah.
That's years in a row now. Anyway, he was Savage's his best and promises to take the title back. Jake Roberts versus Andre the Giant. Big John still returned around the beginning of the year as a guest referee. As you can probably guess, Andre's career hasn't done so well lately as his mountain injuries have been pretty much rendered him to limited appearances and little more. The idea here is Andre is terrified of stakes, much like so many Jake's opponents. That is our evil Jake, but we've already established that heroes can be horrible people in the world of wrestling. Andre jumps Jake to start and sends him face first into an exposed buckle, which lost his pads somewhere during the entrances. Somehow being sent to exposed buckle by Andre the Giant doesn't even knock Jake to the mat. Jesse thinks Jake is cunning, but he's into a giant. Gorilla, didn't you hear the story of David? Jesse, sure. He used a foreign object. Points to Mentor. Andre gets him into the corner and crushes him with the power of fat. He yells insults at Andre, stands on Jake's chest. Jake slows away, knocks Andre into the ropes for the tie-up, but he gets the Giant's arm loose for some choking. Andre drives his shoulder corner but catches a short knee and staggers backwards. Even though Jake now removed his leg. This is I'm still not sure what happened there. A big chest bump knocks Jake to the floor with a snowball and brings Jake inside. Andre and Stug get into a fight, and here's DiBiase steal the safe, triggering their feud. Jake chases him off as Andre chokes Stud, and that's a DQ at 9-4.
Yeah, Andre could barely actually walk around the ring at this point. It would be like another year he would have until WrestleMania where he'd be in a tag, or for most of that time period he'd be in a tag team with Haku. Just so he could just stand on the apron and maybe do some minimum stuff. And this really showed why.
These matches are feeling longer and longer, even if it's a bigger match like this one. Jake was an act of people that got tired of, even if he was eternally stuck in the mid-card. Andre was in a sad territory here as he could barely move, and was really just shouting and using his fat instead of doing anything of value.
D-.
D. Jake catches DiBiase and brings in a snake to clear a ring. Sean Mooney gives us a worthless report from the cheap seats. Sensational Sherry is going to take the women's title back from Rock and Robin and hopes Elizabeth gets hurt in the main event. That's just evil. Honky Tonk Man and Great Valentine versus Heart Foundation. Honky Tonk, now firmly down the card, after losing the Intercontinental title at the first SummerSlam, gets beat up by Hart to open things up. Valentine comes in and gets dropkicks as well, followed by Neidhart slingshot shoulder for 2 is back to Bret, who walks into the backbreakers. The bad guys finally take over. A kind of fireman's carry suplex and some of those from Honky Tonk got Bret in trouble, as Jesse calls Pat Patterson a relic of the past. There's a shake, round and roll, and Buzz Holt and Valentine for a figure 4 instead of cover. Bret easily breaks out the hold, and crossbodies Honky Tonk only to fall out the floor. Back in, and Bret loses up at O'Connor, Roll, and Gray, but Rizzo to tie Neidhart instead of covering. That's rather smart and something you only expect from someone like Bret. The Hearts take over, and Bret starts with the prototype of the 5 moves of doom. After it breaks down, Neidhart throws in Jimmy's microphone for a shot to Honky Tonk's shoulder for the pin at 7:39.
yeah, this is pretty much similar to other filler you've seen on this one match card. Minus maybe this is a little bit more of a average tag team match.
Total meatless filler match here, but at least it wasn't bad for a change. The Hearts were still finding their groove as a face team, including not blatant cheating with foreign objects and beat a friend of their team like this. We'll be seeing if I thought Hunky Doug together as an actual team later on.
I gave C minus.
C. We recap Ultimate Warrior versus Rude was started and posed on the Royal Rumble. Rude was out to lose, so he attacked Warrior with an exercise bar. Warrior wasn't pleased, and this is the result. Intercontinental title Ultimate Warrior versus Rude. Warrior won the title SummerSlam, and big surprise, it has been dominant ever since. Rude tries to jump over the bell, but his knee lifts his Warrior's belt. To be fair, Rude didn't get smart until he went to WCW. Warrior launches him across the ring over before throwing him into a bear hug. Some fingers to the eyes break the hole, and Rude comes off the top of a missile dropkick of all things for 2. Warrior comes right back with another bear hug, and the referee's even nice enough to stop Rude from poking the eyes again. Rude gets out of stuff that we missed because the camera was on heating, and apologizes for the late cover. The kid has a lot weaker this time. Rude falls over Joel Broker. Rude tries with both arms at once, and Warrior makes the ropes and shoves Rude away. The champ throws him in the corner for a few times, but misses a splash. He's still able to break up the Rude waking though, and Rude's in trouble. Warrior knocks him to the floor for a suplex that he trips Warrior up, so Rude falls on top, leaving Bobby to hold the foot down and give Rick the pin and a title in 941. That's Warrior's first loss, and somehow that's Hogan's first title as a manager in the WWF.
Wow.
Also my match that night.
I'm actually going to give it to another match later to happen, but I did think this match was really good.
That way I gave him the same grade. That way actually this is not one match that night, my fault. What other I gave it a little grade? Never mind. It's time for a match that night.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this match was really good. Warrior and Rude strangely had good chemistry together. Rude really know how to work Warrior and get the best out of him. It's not nearly as good as their SummerSlam match that happens later on that year, I believe. But still, a very good outing from the two, and a strong match in the early career of Warrior.
This was a pure and R made sense, as neither guy was known for the best in-ring performer in the ring, but they meshed together very well and produced some good stuff. Rude was still goofy, and Warrior was still insane. So, this is a major upset and a big surprise all around. Good match, too.
I gave it a B.
Big. Warrior beats he and all because he's a sort of loser. Here comes Patch Action like Bandage Brown versus Jim Duggan.
Oh, absolutely.
Just a brawl here.
I get giddy just thinking about it.
Duggan slugs away start and clotheslines Brown out to the floor. Back in, Brown's turn to hammer on Duggan, but the shots to the head no effect on Jim. The Ghetto Blaster misses though, and Brown rolls outside grab a chair. Duggan gets his 2x4, and it's a double DQ at 3:45.
Thankfully, it was kept relatively short. However, it was like 4 minutes too long for a Duggan match at this point, especially on this card.
This could have been fine if it wasn't at WrestleMania. It says yet another way filling time for the match on the show that everyone wanted to see. Thankfully, they kept it short, but that doesn't mean it has any business actually taking place. Bad stuff here that could have been a fun garbage brawl. F. Duggan hits it with the 2x4 to send Brown signing away. The announcer of the double DQ crushes the crowd over again. Bret Rooster can't wait to beat up Bobby Heenan, and it's going to be a great day in the barnyard. DiBiase that Rooster is a walking chicken who used to be matched by Heenan. Bobby said he could take anyone's success even someone's untalented as Rooster. I think you can piece the rest together yourself.
Yeah. Cockle-doodle-doo.
Rooster is Bobby Heenan. Heenan could barely walk after being from Warrior. Right hand, Heenan misses.
By the way, Heenan was actually legitimately injured by Warrior in that match.
Right.
So much so that it would be like an injury that kept with him for a couple years.
Right hand, he misses a charge that hits the post, and Rooster pins him in 30 seconds.
Okay.
Post-match, the Brooklyn Brawl comes in but gets beat on by Rooster. This is really the last match before the main event at WrestleMania. Elizabeth says she'll be in a neutral corner for the main event. All she hopes is that Nearman's injured. Tony Schiavone says that the locker room is all going into the arena to watch the match. Sean Mooney polls fans on who's going to win. My goodness, enough filler, right? WWE World Title, or F World Title, franchise was all good. Savage's defendant comes out first. Elizabeth gets her own entrance. Jesse sums it up very well by saying, "This is truly what the term main event was invented for. This is the main event." Savage feels his start and poses on the corner. Hogan easily shuts it down. It's time to stall some more. The match is getting a heat argument over how important Elizabeth really is until Hogan shoulders Savage to the floor, where he hides behind Elizabeth. Just with what Elizabeth has pulled, a punch in the nose might be what she needs. Back in, Hogan gets technical, to take Savage down to a front face lock. Some right hands are more Hogan style, but Savage snaps the front first across the rope for 2. We hit the armbar for the chip, but Hogan fights him and uses the trunks to pull Savage to the floor. Back in, Hogan drops a bunch of elbows for 2, but Savage pulls him in the chin lock. Hulk has a cut over his eye, and Savage needs him in the bucket for 2. Even with a handful of trunks, Hogan fights up again, just slams Savage over the top to the floor. Randy was nothing to do with Elizabeth's help, so he pulls Hogan for and posts him. Now Elizabeth goes to check on Hogan and gets ejected to make it 1-1. Savage axe handles Hogan's throat first in a barricade, followed by a knee drop for 2. With that not working, Savage just chokes him down instead. The top rope elbow goes 2, and it's time to Hulk up. The 3 punches of the big boot and a leg drop to give Hogan the title back at 17:54.
I thought this was a good match. That actually ended a strong story that they built up through the last year, which played perfectly as Mania was going in the same exact space. For the match, weirdly enough, before this, I honestly can't think of a better wrestled Hogan match.
Before 89?
Yeah. I know I graded Andre and Hogan better because of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But wrestling-wise, this match probably actually was better. They capped off a very good story. They had a strong match, and in the late 80s, Hogan on top to end the show is almost bread and butter for WWF.
It's a good match, but there's nobody who are going to be able to live up to the hype they had created for this. This was one of the biggest matches of all time, and there was really nobody who could get much higher than they did here. I can accept Hogan win for a safe move and a good feeling, but can you imagine if Savage had cheated to win, maybe involved with Elizabeth somehow, and kept the title until SummerSlam? Still though, I understand why they did this, as it wasn't exactly the time when heels could get the last life of a major show.
Yeah. I gave it a B+.
B's my match of the night.
Match of the night, too.
A lot of posing and raving from Jesse take us out.
Hogan must pose.
Overall?
Overall, I'm giving this show a C. It's a long, drawn-out show and is pretty much a one-match show, which ends up being kind of almost the flavor of the month for WrestleManias in this time period, where it's literally just you have one match and other stuff gets thrown on under it. There was bright spots on this card: Blazer and Perfect, Warrior and Rude, and even the main event I still thought was very solid. But I think they probably just needed to trim the filler a little bit or put meaning behind shit.
You liked this WrestleMania more than you did before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. D. To me, this is the third worst WrestleMania at this point.
Well, there's only 5 of them, to be fair.
So it's third place overall.